But then you get 10% also, luckily, only 10% of people who are just naturally just shady and just scallum and just want to steal from everybody and stuff.
Looking at ethics studies. So what is morally right, or what is morally wrong, or what is just or what is unjust? So in the broader sense, it reflects on human beings and their interactions with many things, nature and people and just your responsibility, and also looking at justice amongst other things. And with me in studio to talk about all of these complexities, which we're going to simplify for you, is none other than Edla Kaumbi from the African Leadership Institute. Hi, Edla.
Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm well, thanks. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Speaking of ethics, is it a bit of a shocker to your system, because you feel like because you study ethics, you always have to be ethically right?
Sure. I think maybe the temptations seem more in your face. But it's natural, it's normal for me, it's part of my value system. Yeah. But I think when a thought does cross your mind, you're like, okay, no, I can't. But that wouldn't be the reason.
It wouldn't. Yeah. Let's start right there. How can one identify whether a decision you make is ethical?
Yes. When you... The heart of ethics is, or the golden rule of ethics, do not do unto others what you wouldn't want done unto you.
I see.
So with making ethical decision, it's always good to see, will this decision harm the next person? And so that means the people who are involved, we call them stakeholders. And so it's important to do then an impact assessment, meaning how will this affect the next person? So if I know that it's not going to harm people who may be involved, then it should be okay.
I love that. And I mean, do unto others, it really does simplify it. And so now I'm going through this. What can I ask myself if I want to be sure that I am actually doing the right thing? Or what kind of questions do I ask myself to see that, okay, the people around me are not necessarily going to be harmed by my decisions? Yeah.
So we have 8 ethical tests. I'm going to just run through a few. I mean, okay, the main one, the big one, we call it the sunshine test. It means if this were to come in the sunshine, in the light, will I be okay with it? Or the similar word use is the front page test. So this thing that I'm doing, if it were to be published on the front page or will be streamed on Netflix, will I be okay? Will I still stand by the decision? That's one test. The other test is the truth test, meaning this action, does it represent the whole truth?
Okay.
For example, methotrexate it's medication that is used for rheumatoid arthritis, right? It really helps with the inflammation and things. But it's also bad. It could abort your baby, and it could, cause all kinds of stomach things. So if I just sell this medication and say, oh, this is so good for you, it's going to help, and I don't say the other part, that's not the whole truth.
Absolute truth.
That's not ethical. So that's why, it's good to be open and transparent with those kinds of things. And then one more maybe to think about is, what if everybody did this? Would I be okay with it? For example, medical aid. I'm buying something for someone who's not on my medical aid. And I'm like, I pay for the medical every month, right? What's wrong with that? But what if everybody did that? What would be the outcome of that? What would be the impact of that? Then it's not such a great idea. So just a few of the 8. They'll be in the book, the 8 of them, I guess. We can go through them.
Just for, I don't want to get myself into a little bit of, but I am going to play devil's advocate a little bit.
Sure.
Do I have to have all of them for it to be ethical? For example, what if it comes to light, I won't have a problem with it? And the third one being, if everybody does it, it's okay. But hereby, this absolute truth, it doesn't pass that test.
Yeah, no.
Is it not majority rule? Okay.
No. Oh, wow. No. It has to be yes for all the tests. I like that. No.
Okay.
So for all of them, there should be complete... Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Your conscience should be completely clear that, this is okay.
I see.
And some people, their sensitivity is different, right? So, if you don't care that it's going to come in the newspaper, it doesn't mean that it's necessarily right. So that's why all of these have to be at least true.
It's true, because I'm like, let them see my life. But they're by the absolute truth. I won't tell you the whole truth. But that makes absolute sense. Let's just talk about fraud for a little bit. How does fraud work, and how can you spot a high risk fraud situation?
Okay, so fraud is tricky. There's this international standard, or not standard, like a the word is gone. But it's called the 10-80-10 principle.
Okay.
So 10% of people, only 10% of people in life are truly, truly ethical and honest. They always want to, it feels like really only. No, but then you get 10% also, only 10% of people who are just naturally just shady and just scallum and just want to steal from everybody and stuff. But 80% of people, they want to do the right thing.
Okay.
See somebody stranded on the road, they want to help, they mean well.
Yeah.
But it depends the situation.
Okay.
An example like that is, if we were to shift this room around and, it's just the three of us, we need to quickly clear it and clean. And then you, behind that thing there that hasn't been moved in years, you discover there's 100,000 and it's so dusty and everything, right? 80% of people will be like, okay,
guys,
who saw me to the camera, or depending on what's happening in my life. Otherwise, I would just be like, oh my gosh, I found this 100,000. Or it would be like, maybe I'll take a finder's fee and like, oh, I found the 70,000, like that. So because of that, fraud works like, if there's an opportunity like that, people will be tempted depending on what's happening. So if there's an opportunity, people are likely to take something. And if there are pressures, so if you found this 100,000 but things are great, you're going on honeymoon with your bae and family's healthy, then it's like, I'm okay, and then even if there's opportunity, but sometimes there might be pressure. And if I make a justification and I say, but these Radio 99 people, they don't pay me well anyway, and besides they
owe me money, bad pay anyway.
So that's the fraud triangle. There's an opportunity, there's pressure for me to do it, and I justify.
Yeah.
Okay. And to identify fraud situations, sure, it's tricky, but there's, especially with organizations, that's why it's so important to track behavior and to track data. So, for example, like audit reports to see, a spike in the normal behavior or how things normally are, to see, but it looks different. Or even people behavior, like, but now, Sibo, how are you driving that Porsche now? When did this happen? Stuff like that, to just, to see. But the best thing you can do is to make sure that there aren't opportunities for people to be able to make it easy. You shouldn't make it easy for people to be able to do fraud.
Listen, in the short minutes that we've been speaking to Edla, I'm learning so much about ethics. But here is Scissor saying conceited. Before we were listening to Scissor, she gave me some great news saying 80% of people are good people. I'm like, whoa, thank goodness. I don't know about the 20%, but at least, man, the 80, we're still okay there. Edla, tell us and take us through just the few principles of conduct that define the essentials of honorable behavior.
Honorable behavior. The King Code is these really smart lawyers that came together and they come up with these like guidelines for how corporates can behave, and I want to use those, and I use the acronym so I can remember. I say ICRAFT. So I stands for integrity. So being open, being transparent, let your words and your actions and your intentions be in sync and mean the right thing. Like what you do in the dark, you should be comfortable to do in the light as well.
Yeah.
So integrity is one of the things. C stands for competence. Yeah, believe it or not, it's not okay to be a doctor if you are not good at being a doctor, or teach people's children if you're not a good teacher. So competence is actually a really good thing. Like be good at what you say you're good. Yeah. And then the R stands for responsibility, meaning do your job well. Be responsible, do what you're supposed to do. That's the one part of responsibility. The second part of it is do no harm. As in, I'm responsible that these actions that I'm taking are not harming my stakeholders, whether it's the society, whether it's the environment, whether it's my employees, the community and things like that. So that's responsibility. And the A stands for accountability. It's important, and that's, I think, a big thing also in our society, that people are not accountable. People just get away with things. But somebody who's accountable, they take responsibility for the results of their actions and the consequences of their actions. Because I might do something wrong, but I should be able to stand by it and say, either I need to apologize or fix up, clean up my mess. That's accountability. And then the F is for fairness. Stakeholder inclusion, treat everybody with dignity and treat them well. And then finally, the T is for transparency, openness, the sunshine test. So at least if we can, be iCraft people, then we should be okay. That's a start, to move in the right direction. But I believe every organization should have, or people should have, values that they stand for, values that don't harm. Again, do not do unto others what you wouldn't want done unto you. That's the golden rule.
In the iCraft, we're also finding it in the African Leadership Institute Book of Ethics. Is it in there?
Not like that, but we do talk about it.
Yeah.
I think we do talk about ethics, and we talk about the 8 rules that I said. Yeah.
Let's go into the book. What else is in the book?
So mainly the book is short stories, and the reason it's like that is because everybody agrees that corruption is wrong. Yeah, everybody will say that it's wrong, right? But then you see somebody doing something and you're like, sir, that is not okay. And so it's so easy for us to see it in others, but not so much in ourselves. So the stories are regular, everyday stories of Namibian people, actually true stories. We just changed the names and some places, so that, we can protect the identities of people. And so when you read the story and then you see that, then you're like,
wait a minute.
I think I've done that. I didn't realize I was wrong. So this is why the stories, and so there are discussion questions so that we can unpack these things. And also when we talk about it, it opens up our minds to start to recognize. Sort of like, you didn't know there were yellow beetles until you date somebody.
And then now you
like,
see it everywhere.
500 yellow beetles everywhere. So it's the same. So if we can talk about this, then hopefully, our RASs are open, reticular activating systems are opened up to start to recognize, these things in ourselves.
Is there a short story that you'd like to highlight, maybe?
Oh,
that you liked, and you're like, this one was the one.
I like the medical aid one because it's such a common thing that happens.
Guilty.
Many people are guilty, and they're so proudly guilty. Like, it's not okay.
I know. But listen, also, I'm saying guilty because I know it's not my medical aid, but it's even worse. It's even worse because it's not even my medical aid.
I want to be involved in this conversation.
The confession. But now we know better. Yes, well, I know better, so I won't be calling anybody and say, friend, can you just give me that, the tablets on your medical aid? Honestly, I would have never thought about it. Because I'm like, you're already paying for UTMOS now. Yeah. Let's do the things. Yeah. Oh my goodness. So are there some discussion questions from that
there
one?
There are some discussion
from the
questions.
medical aid.
I could remember where the story is. So let me look it up.
My goodness.
Because they're really, really cool stories.
Yeah, they're thought-provoking.
I mean, just another one. You're driving from Swako back to Windhoek, and there's a big truck that overturns, and there's cookies and cold drink, and what do you do?
Edla, I don't like you very much.
Are you gonna?
Because you know where my mind went? My mind went, but the car is insured, man. The products are insured. Yeah, so let me just take one cookie jar for my family. Yeah. I mean, why must they go to waste on the floor?
So these are
hard.
So remember the triangle? Hard. Justification and
justification. There it is.
I'm justifying why I'm doing this thing.
Okay, see, now that we're talking about it in practicality, it's making sense. Because there's an opportunity. It's not, because I would never at gunpoint go to the truck and just say, hey, give me your cookies. But the opportunity is here. Right. And I've just justified it to say there is insurance. And oh my goodness.
I like how your mind is already doing the things.
I don't like this math, because it's mathing. The math
21.
is mathing.
It's on page 21.
Oh, guys, I don't know. We must just become, after this interview, we're all better people.
I should hope so. So it's about Cindy's, the story. So if you discovered that Cindy's... No, that's not that one. Sorry.
It's okay.
Medical aid. Oh, here. So it was about Mia. Mia's the medical aid girl. She tried to add her mother to... It was about her mom, who's elderly. So she tried to add her mom to medical aid, but the company refused. So she made a plan. Was she right? Is there a right or wrong in this case? All she wanted to do was help her ailing mother, right? What would you do? Is this ethical behavior? And then you look at the 12 tests that on page 12, the 8 tests on page 12 to go through this.
That story.
So the idea is to sit in your teams and have this conversation, or at your dinner table, or in your Bible study group, and then discuss these things, and then, come up with...
And we still say we have to get all 8 as a yes.
Yes.
Not even 5 out of 8.
Because they are not out of 8. It's each one of them, it's a different perspective on, doing the right thing.
That is so fascinating. Where can we get the book, please? Because I am absolutely in love.
Yes. So the book is available from our offices at the African Leadership Institute. But you know what, let me tell you, the book is $100, right? If you buy one.
Yeah.
But if you buy more than 5, it becomes $50.
Okay.
If you buy more than 10, it becomes $40. And if you buy more than 100, it becomes 30.
Nice.
So you want to buy 100.
Yeah.
But and when you buy this, I will come to your organization or your group and I'll give you free ethics training.
Oh, wow.
I can do a session where we read one of the stories.
Yes, please.
And we can discuss this. So we really encourage everyone. That's why we want to make the book as cheap as possible, because we want to get this out. We really want our nation to open our minds up to these things and just make better decisions to really do unto others what we want done unto us.
I love.
So if they buy the book, they can contact us. I don't know, do I give my details now?
You may.
So you may contact me at Edla, that's EDLA, at Ali, that's ali.com.na, edla@ali.com.na, or you can call our offices at 061 250 229.
250-229. Beautiful.
Yes.
Oh man, Edla.
And so, please order the book and I will come. It's a free training. We'll be there for an hour. It's some organizations have done it. We've done it with the Namibian Investment and Promotion Board.
Okay.
And they were really excited.
Listen, Tri-Fair Studios
is MVA.
Yes. Tri-Fair Studios is next.
Okay.
We have to do the things
does your boss endorsing this message?
We're endorsing it live. I'm stampeding it live because like from those 2 stories alone, I am guilty. And I'm not the only one, I know for sure.
Right.
So thank you so much, Edla, for coming. Is there anything else that you'd like to add?
Just that this is exciting, and like our nation, we have such a privileged country. And sometimes some of us, we get so tired, we're complaining about this and about that, but until you travel, you don't recognize just how privileged we are as a nation. And our president is doing, a lot to bring prosperity to us, but he cannot do it alone. And we need to, hold hands and come together, businesses, churches, and all, organizations. And this is a small way that we can do that, to at least the sphere that we are responsible for, that we have, the right influence and do the right thing.
Well, Edla, thank you so much for coming.
You're welcome.
Thank you for making me feel guilty, but also making me a better person. It's the guilt of the better person that comes out of that.
Yes.
We were just speaking ethics, and please do get the book. The short stories that will be there will really open up your mind. I'm very grateful to Edla Kaumbi from the African Leadership Institute and from Ali just bringing this book to light. Please get in touch with them. The number again is 061 250 229. That is 061 250 229.